gorgeous, how are you doing today? Today I'm going to have a little chat with you about the technique that I created called the press and plant technique. Now I created this technique about 5 years ago to go along with the Facerobics program and to help you a little bit more in understanding how to isolate the muscles. The press and plant technique is the technique that when you press on a certain muscle, another muscle moves. Okay? So when I say press and plant, it means press and plant your fingers. Okay? Really, it's really simple, but it's just to understand the technique of it. Because everything, especially in exercise, it all has form. It all has technique. And the better you get with your form, or the better you get with your technique, the more stronger your facial exercises will be, and the better they will be, and the faster they'll start working for you. So let's talk about the cheek exercise in Exercise Along With Me Series 3, for instance. That is the typical example of the press and plant technique. And that's because these muscles along here, the buccinator, the risorius, those sorts of muscles there are very difficult just to move on their own. You can move them when you're smiling, but of course you can't go like this all the time. You have to isolate your fingers and muscles as well. So what we would do is we place our fingers either side of the cheek. So this is a typical example of the press and plant technique. So with Series 3, the cheek exercise, we place our fingers over the bone of the cheek and then on the platysma, okay, on the jawline. And then what we do is we place our fingers just in the corners, so our knuckles, top knuckles, go into the corners of our mouth. You can see how that looks. Now, when you go ahead and move the muscle, you have to press and then move the muscles with your lips. So it's almost like a smile with the mouth closed. And as you do that, the risorius and the buccinator start moving freely. And then once you start exercising those muscles, then it starts pulling up your jowls. That is one example of the press and plant technique. Another example would be this one. Pressing and planting in the corners of your mouth, and then lifting the zygomaticus muscles. Again, you are pressing and planting a muscle on a muscle, number one, to stop the wrinkles from forming, more wrinkles forming, and number two, to assist the muscle to move more freer. It's a very good technique, and I just want you to understand why we do this, why we press and plant, and why we do these things. Because the more you understand why, the more knowledge you have to be a success with it. Okay? Very similar to this one up here. Press, plant, and lift. And then when we do that, what happens, as you can see, only this part of the frontalis moves. Now that's remarkable that you can move just one side of one muscle. That's what the press and plant does. It's a really fantastic technique. And what I would really encourage you to do is the next time that you start your exercises, like on the next series, just concentrate on that one technique. And then if you do that, you've got 6 weeks where you're learning about how to do this technique, how it works on your face, how it makes your particular muscles move. Then you would just naturally start to apply it to all the other series that you do. Really, it's really something that you can learn to do. All right, well, I hope that's helped you today. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, you get all these great tips. And also, please remember to hit the notification bell and go ahead and like my videos. I'd really appreciate that as well. All right, you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye.